Welcome, everybody, once again to Business Principles Podcast, where we talk about the fundamentals that make you profitable. Today, I have a special guest, Miss Kim Wright. How are you doing today, Kim?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here.
Oh, I'm the one that's honored to have you. Kim is an agent in Arizona and a model, and I just learned by reading a post, former gymnast instructor, and all kinds of things. So, Kim, why don't you tell us a little bit about you, your business, your history, and all that good stuff?
All right. So yeah, I don't come from a business background. I come from a very entertainment industry background as far as ballroom dancing. I was a ballroom instructor, model, was a gymnastics coach for about 10 years. And then all of a sudden I realized that it wasn't where I wanted to be, or where I needed to be. So I decided to go a completely different route and get my real estate license. And that was about 4 years ago. And oh goodness, what's today? 2020. It was in 2019 I got licensed, and now it's been a few years. So been only doing this for 2 years full time now. So it's been exciting.
Nice. So I know that you are very diligent about your YouTube presence and Instagram. Does that come from your entertainment background, or is that something that you picked up new to pay attention to when you got into real estate? Tell us about that.
So that's a great question. So it does stem from my upbringing in the entertainment industry. And I realized when I got into real estate about 2 years ago, when I went full time, nobody was really doing anything on social media as far as real estate wise. And it really took me by surprise. Maybe it was about 2.5 years ago at this point. But I realized that, social media and YouTube has so much power to be able to grow someone's business and to grow your brand personally. So yeah, I went straight from the entertainment world into real estate, but here's the catcher. It was very hard for me because I didn't tell anybody that I got my real estate license until the day I got it. Like, nobody knew I was going into this. So I went from the ballroom world and everything. I was posting about all of that to all of a sudden, surprise, I'm a realtor. And everyone was so confused. Okay, how is Kim a ballroom instructor and a realtor and a model and all of these things? She can't help me buy a house. So it took me maybe a year to stay consistent at what I was doing, to show people that I was actually serious at my new career path and what I was about to accomplish. So
Nice. So you had to reposition yourself, right? Which is one of the P's that I always tell people to focus on, which is positioning. So you had to completely reposition yourself in the eyes of the people that knew you.
yes, yeah, I had to reposition myself completely, and there with coming with that came a lot of imposter syndrome and self-doubt and lack of confidence. And am I really going to be able to make this successful? Is this really the right career path for me? What am I doing? And I feel like every single person on the planet has those types of questions, kind of trickling through their brain as they're changing or they're making changes at any point in their life. So it was interesting. It was an interesting time of my life for sure.
Did you get any pushback from people? Did you find yourself having to change anything in regards to the people that you interacted with or anything like that? Or did most of the people in your circle just kind of say, okay, we're going with this?
Yeah, no, I had to stop talking to a lot of people that I hung around. And mainly because they just weren't going in the same direction as I was. And it broke my heart. I had a lot of grief for quite some time because of it. But I realized that everything happens for a reason, right? And when I decided to get into real estate, and I decided, okay, I'm going to go all in on social media and on YouTube, and this is how I'm going to grow my business. I had a few of my best friends tell me and look at me like I was crazy. And I had one person even tell me, Kim, that's not going to work. And I knew it was. I knew in my heart and my soul that that was the direction for me to go. And I no longer talk to those people anymore because they didn't support me through that. And over time, there was a lot of jealousy. There was a lot of resentment and just irritability towards me and the path that I was going down because I was becoming more and more successful. So it was a struggle.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. I can imagine. And the first time that I, heard of you, met you was when you, one of Joshua Smith's masterminds, when you taught about Instagram, which was funny to hear the reactions in the room of how many people didn't know Instagram or didn't know the basics that you were sharing. And you've managed to do what a lot of people want to do, but few people accomplish. And most of your stuff, all of it is organic, right? On both Instagram and YouTube.
Yeah. I don't pay for any leads. All of my leads have always been organic since day one.
That's crazy. So how long did it take you for you to actually get traction on YouTube and on Instagram for both for real estate?
So for Instagram, it was a lot harder on Instagram because, like I said, when I first started, I was surrounded by a certain type of people. Today, it's different. So it took me about a year on the Instagram platform to be able to let people know, hey, I'm serious. As far as YouTube, that was maybe 2 months. I think I got my first lead in my first 45 days of being on YouTube. And they were one of my favorite clients I've ever worked with. I still talk with them today. And after that, all the leads just started trickling in. So it was very quickly for me to start obtaining clients from YouTube and just being on that platform.
And do you see yourself like with the changing market, being in Arizona, it like everything happens there first, right? They test stuff and the market shifts. Like you guys get the roller coaster before everybody else.
Yes.
Do you see yourself having to do more content, or do you just stick with what you have been doing? And how does that work for you? Like, do you have a routine? How much of your time spent doing content and all that good stuff?
Oh my gosh, I love this question because I'm doing everything that I'm not supposed to be doing. So the reason why I say that is because it's hard right now. If you're on YouTube right now and you are building your real estate business on social media, now more than ever, you want to be as consistent as possible and put out as much content as possible. Because if you don't, then your competitors are going to be pushed at the front of the page before you. And that is what I am noticing right now. And what I chose to do, and I've talked to Josh about this, and he looked at me like I was a lunatic. And but I explained to him, I said, I'm taking the next 3 months, and this was about 2 months ago. So I told him I'm taking the next 3 months and I'm going to work on my video craft. I'm going to work on my scripting, work on my angles, work on my lighting, work on how I am delivering this information to my viewers. And then come at the end of the year, then I'm going to start posting multiple videos a month again. Right now I'm posting 2 videos a month. And for me, it kind of hurts because I have seen a decrease in my leads coming in, but I've seen an abundance of growth in my creative aspect and how much easier it's going to be for me to create more and more videos in the future, because now, since here in Arizona, we are kind of slow, and at least I am personally. And I just took the last couple months and really tuned in and focused on my systems and my processes on YouTube, how I wanted it to be done. And now it's going to be even better towards the end of the year. So anyone who's on YouTube, if you are in a position to take the time and just focus on how you're doing content, how you're posting content, and reading your analytics, and I would recommend that. But at the same time, still be posting those videos, because I sometimes wish that I would have continued posting my 2 videos a week for the last couple months, but because now I see a decrease. But I hope that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense, and thank you for that. So you were posting, when you're actively posting, you're doing 2 videos a week?
Yes, 2 videos a week. Yes.
Nice.
Mhm.
And now that you're building your systems, everybody's talking about it. So are you leveraging AI or anything like that? Like there's so many things. Like I know for us, for the podcast, we use Cast Magic, where I found it on AppSumo, and it'll automatically grab different clips, and you can pick from them to use on social media and stuff. What kind of tools are you using, or platforms are you using to help you with your creative process?
So right now I am using Opus. It is a site to where you can put in your long form content to create short form content videos. That has helped me tremendously. And there's in the real estate world, when it comes to short form content, a lot of people say, don't do short form content. It's not going to help you grow your channel. It's not going to help you get leads. But at the same time, it can if done correctly. So that's what I've been using is Opus. It's a great AI tool. I've tried using ChatGPT to do some scripting and just have an outline of a YouTube video or blog post. That wasn't really my favorite because I wasn't able to put in my own personal touch, and a lot of the information was very, very outdated when it comes to the certain facts and figures about just local based Arizona, what it's like living here and stuff. But yeah, so I use Opus right now, and then there's this other one called Koala. I don't know exactly what the site is, but it's where you go in and this whole AI system can create blog posts for you. And that is one thing that I haven't started using yet, but that's something that I'm looking forward to utilizing in the future.
Nice. And being so, we've covered, I always talk about the 4 Ps, and we've covered kind of 2 of them, which is positioning. You had to do that when you started in real estate, and then presence. You make sure that you're on Instagram and on YouTube. The other 2 are proximity and possibility. When it comes to proximity, how close are your leads to ready to buy when they reach out to you on YouTube or Instagram? And do you see a difference between the 2 platforms in the seriousness or the readiness?
Yes, I do see a difference. Now, how I used to have my I guess I still do, but how my YouTube is set up is I like to keep my YouTube and my Instagram completely different styles of content. They come to YouTube, they learn about Arizona, they learn what Arizona has to offer. They know that I'm a realtor, and then they come to my Instagram and say, "Oh, Kim's actually a real person." They see my stories, they see what I'm like and everything. So what usually happens with me is they find me on YouTube, and then they click on my Instagram, and then they message me via Instagram instead of calling me, texting me, or sending me an email. So I usually have those leads coming in that way, and they're all kind of the same. The ones that find me through Instagram directly are usually finding me through hashtags or location-based content, and they are either moving here as their job is relocating them, so they're working with a relocation company already, or they're looking for a rental, wanting to know what the area is like. So then at that point, I kind of let them know, hey, sorry, I don't work with rentals, but here's some property management companies to help you out. And then as far as the, did I answer all your questions? I swear I'm missing one.
No, you answered them. So they're pretty much ready to go when they finally do reach out to you, and you.
Yes.
Okay, so, that's awesome. So you educate them on YouTube, and then you build the relationship through Instagram.
Absolutely, yes. Now, as far as the leads that reach out, how quickly they are ready to buy, I've had clients call me and say, "Hey, Kim, I watch you on YouTube, but I need you right now. Can you go view this new build for me? I don't know if it's a good home for me. Can you check it out? I want to go under contract today." And literally within that day, I had them call me, and we went under contract that day. I did a video tour of the area, did a video tour of the house for her, and she was under contract in a new build within 4 or 5 hours of her calling me. So that has happened. And then I've had a lot of clients, call me a week before they're coming to town, and they say, "Hey, Kim, we've been watching you for a few months, and we're going to be in town this weekend." And I'm like, "Wait, you've been watching me for a few months and now you're just now calling me. Why why such the late notice? But it's been cool because they do, some of them are, you know, a day or a week or 2 weeks out. Some of them can be 6 to 8 months out. Right now, what we're seeing in this market is a lot of buyers are wanting to wait, or, you know, they're wanting to wait till the fall, the end of the year, New Year's, because of interest rates. So I've been getting a lot of clients currently saying that they're going to be purchasing in those timeframes. So what I've been doing is I've just been following up with them every week or every 2 weeks, depending on where they're at. Do they need to sell a house where they're at? And then they need to move here. If so, then I'm going to put them on an every 2 week follow up, right? And just not even saying, hey, how's the house selling process going? Just checking in. Hey, how's the dogs over there? How's the weather? You guys are cooling down. We're still 115 degrees out, you know? So that's the process that I do when it comes to all of my leads, because some of them, most of them these days are actually further out than not. So
Nice. I like that. I like that. You've got a process, and you know, like they say, the fortune's in the follow-up, right?
it is.
And with the last P being possibility, how do you make sure that when you're creating content, that you're making it possible for people like to be able to envision themselves in Arizona, right? Because everybody, that's, you know, marketing is about being able to paint a picture that somebody else can see themselves in. So what do you do to make sure to, you know, have that top of mind when you're creating content?
So my biggest thing is always wanting to be relatable. I want to relate to them and their pain points as to why they're wanting to leave where they're currently living and why they're wanting to move to Arizona. For example, a lot of buyers are moving from California, right? So why are they moving from California? Is it politics? Is it safety? Is it affordability? Is it because they want a better home and lifestyle and community for them and their kids to actually live a life in, right? And they're not trying to, you know, work so hard to make ends meet. So I talk about those pain points in my videos, and I talk about our laws and regulations here versus our laws and regulations in the state of California. I don't go too deep into it because I don't want to have those political conversations, but it is a night and day difference. And a lot of people are moving here because of those things. So I do sprinkle a little bit of that in my videos, because more than anything, when someone is working with a professional, working with the realtor, nobody wants to be sold anymore. They want someone that they can connect with. They want someone that they can, you know, relate to and, you know, hang out at a dinner table with. They don't want to just, you know, have a stuffy realtor say, oh, this is what it's like, here's the facts, here's the figures, and call it a day. They're just going to swipe past that video. They want someone that's going to be genuine and authentic. And I think, to me, that is the most important part of being on social media and YouTube, is being able to be who you are and just lead from the heart.
Nice, nice. I have a puppy in the background that's deciding to make all kinds of noise. So if you hear that, that's what that's about. But
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, so if you were to change anything of your business or how you started, what would be the one thing you would change?
Oh, I would, if I could change anything, I would change me being in the right room sooner. When I first started, I didn't really know what I was doing, and I thought I had to be a certain type of way to be successful as an entrepreneur and a realtor, and that just isn't the case. I was hanging around people who I thought were successful on the road that I wanted to go, but I didn't stay true to myself, and I wish I would have, because if I would have stayed true to myself at the very beginning, I think I would be a lot further than where I am now. And by that, I mean, you know, be in the same room as people that you want to be like, and be, you know, be in the same room of people who are where you are going or where you want to be. And I wasn't in that. So today I have, you know, these YouTube masterminds. I have some great YouTubers that I connect with that aren't even in the real estate space. And it's actually pretty phenomenal. I wish I would have found that type of community sooner, because I feel like that would have helped me in my growth game as the years have gone on.
That's awesome. That's very, astute of you, and I love that answer, because I think in real estate we get stuck just listening to everything real estate. But I always tell people, real estate is a business. Go learn from business people.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And one thing that, a lot of people, especially getting onto YouTube, because YouTube is a whole different type of beast. And there's two different ways to do YouTube, right? There's one, you can be on YouTube and you can blow up your YouTube channel and get as many views and subs as you want. Or there's the other option where you can be a local based business and, focus on getting all of those leads and lead generation. So here's the thing is, there's so much information with all of this, and I'm noticing this a lot more with a lot of realtors that are starting to hop on YouTube, is they're just information overloaded. There's so much knowledge out there, and they don't really know who to listen to and what works, what doesn't. And what it boils down to is just start. Pick something, does it feel right, and just do it. And then as time goes on, the more videos you post, the more you are on YouTube, the more you are continuing that process and staying consistent, the more that knowledge that you've obtained is going to start making sense. And then you're going to start realizing which direction and which piece of advice you actually want to listen to based on where you want to take your own channel and your own real estate business. So I hope that helps a lot of people.
That definitely helps. Well, Kim, I really appreciate you and your time. Tell everybody where they can find you, and what areas of Arizona you serve. And yeah.
Of course, yeah. So everyone can find me on YouTube at Living in Arizona / Kimberly Wright. And then you can find me on Instagram at Kimberly Wright Realtor. And I service everywhere in Maricopa County. And I have a team that works in Pinal County as well. So from Stanton Valley, Buckeye, Goodyear, wherever you're looking at in the Phoenix Metro, I'm here to help.
Awesome. And we'll make sure to put your YouTube link and your IG once we get the podcast uploaded. Thank you once again for being here.
You're so welcome. Thank you. I really appreciate it.